Good evening and welcome to the Climate Reality Bay Area chapters. Welcome for our new members this evening. My name is Taryn McGrew, and I am the chapter co-chair alongside my fabulous co-chair, Harriet Harvey Horn. There she is,
Hello.
coming from Flagstaff, Arizona, right?
Right, with beverage in hand.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, if you would kindly please enter into the chat your name, your town, how you're feeling, and your favorite climate solution as an icebreaker this evening. We while you are actually entering that information into the chat, we always like to start our meetings off with our land acknowledgement. And today I'm going to be reading a land acknowledgement from a dear friend who was our host for our Hispanic Heritage Month at our Self-Care for Climate Activism. Let your values lead the way. Mayala Marnashian. And she, first, I like to say, she believes in the 3 G's. One is generosity, gratitude, and gentleness. But here is the land acknowledgement that she blessed us with last Saturday. I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we live, meet, create, and work, and all traditional owners of countries throughout the world. We recognize their continuing connection to land, place, waters, and community. We pay our respects to their indigenous, First Nation, original cultures, country, and elders past, present, and emerging. Thank you so very much. All right. Harriet, would you do me the honor of looking into that chat and reading out to
I know, I'm just taking a
and taking over. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm just taking a peek here. Thank you, Gary. Solar roofs. Let's see, EVs. Somebody is very fond of those, as I am as well, or electrification of transportation. Oh, and Kathleen has a new EV. Thank you for sharing that. That's always an exciting moment. I'm sure you are in a love affair there, as I am with mine. And from Oakland, reducing dependency on beef. Dietary choices are big. And RECs are pretty great. REC, let's see. Jessica, could you clarify REC? That I'm not recognizing that.
Renewable energy credits or certificates. So for renters, you can get those.
That is an excellent one. That's a part of the population that really needs more solutions, more tangible solutions. So that's excellent. Kevin, voting. There we are, using our voice, right? The Climate Reality 3. Use your choices, use your vote, and use your voice. Love that one. And Pam, EVs. EVs are popular amongst this group, obviously. And excellent. Building decarb, Tom. That's a big one for the Bay Area chapter. You'll hear more about that tonight. And Joy, wildfire recovery and mitigation. Those resiliency measures that often get overlooked. So important, becoming more important as these impacts are being felt by more people. Building decarb, Ryan, thank you for that one. Leslie, carbon fee and dividend. There we go. Policy solution. That is a good one that has a lot of potential. Excellent. Well, thank you all for sharing those. It's always wonderful to see what brings people here. All right, so I am going to share screen. We'll get moving. I'll go over our agenda for the evening. I'm very excited to see everyone. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining the chapter. And most of the new members that are here are also planning to attend leadership training. We congratulate you and thank you for that commitment. We know that'll be a very rewarding experience for you. So I will share screen. get rid of this. And we'll start our slideshow. Hey. Get rid of us. Here we are. So again, welcome. So glad you're all here. Hopefully all we have our beverages in hand and are just ready to kick back. We're going to not try to tire you out too much with a lot of talking this evening. We really want to dedicate at least half of this meeting to getting connected with each other, meeting each other in different ways. So we are at first though going to give you a little overview of our chapter and tell you a little bit about the leadership training, since again, so many of you will be attending. We'll give each of our team leaders an opportunity to introduce themselves and tell you a little bit about what they do. We're not going to go into a lot of depth there, because what we want to do is then go into breakouts where you'll have the opportunity to go into different rooms with these leaders and learn more about what the different teams are doing and ways that you can engage with them. And then we will follow that with county networking breakouts, so you can get to meet chapter members from your general region. And then we'll wrap up with some Q&A. So it's that simple. We'll keep it to an hour. And again, we thank you so much for joining us. So the Bay Area chapter was founded in August of 2017. It's one of the very first in all of the Climate Reality Project. It covers the greater Bay Area region, the 8 counties you see circled here. We do not include Santa Clara County and the South counties in our official region, because there's a chapter down there, the Silicon Valley chapter, though we certainly welcome anybody from, in fact, we have chapter members from all over the country and even some internationally. So you can join any chapter you like, and we welcome your participation. But our official dominion is just these 8 counties that you see there circled. We have 1,400 members. About half of those have been trained by Mr. Gore. And our organization, we have about 10 teams now. You'll learn more about them this evening. We also have 6 county squads that take action in the local regions. And then we are also led by 19 amazing team leaders. So we have a really strong leadership team. We're very pleased and proud of that. So this is how our chapter has grown since its founding, a very nice linear progression. What's really exciting though is that the chapter basically doubled since the beginning of COVID. So it didn't really slow us down at all, which is a really good message to send out there, because certainly the climate crisis is not waiting for anyone, and our membership and the interest in our chapter's efforts hasn't slowed down. So that's an exciting thing for us. And this is how our membership is distributed by county, with San Francisco and Alameda having the largest representation, followed by Contra Costa, Marin, San Mateo, and you can see from there. So our mission, we set out the beginning of this year with this statement: to take full advantage of the unique opportunity the Bay Area has at this moment in 2021 to influence unprecedented progress on climate action, climate justice, and policy changes, to lead the world in adopting, improving the viability and benefits of climate crisis and climate justice solutions. We really believe that California is a leader, and I think even within California, the Bay Area has such great potential to impact progress, and we see our chapter as playing a really critical role in helping bring that about. And with that, I will turn it over to my co-chair, Taryn McGrew, who will cover our DEIJ, Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Justice principles, as well as give you an overview of the training.
Thank you, Harriet. One of the great features is that what we do, we carry out what the Climate Reality Bay Area chapter, what we carry out is that we adhere to the Climate Reality Project's headquarters, of which diversity, equity, inclusion, and justice is a major part of their work and our work as well. We acknowledge that we are on Ohlone Indigenous people land, the territory that we all live on. And for those of you who may not know what your specific name of the tribe that you live on here in the Bay Area, I will put the website for you to find out for you. I would also like to say that the Climate Reality Bay Area chapter sets forth diversity, equity, inclusion, and justice as the foundational principles in all climate action, deeply rooted in fairness, whereby giving the fully unheard voice engaged from frontline communities most impacted by climate change. Harriet.
Yes.
All right, these are just some of the activities that we have engaged in with environmental and climate justice. We hold monthly climate change and justice reading groups. We've had some great speakers. We've had Vice Chancellor of UC Davis of Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, Renetta G. Toll, of which we had the opportunity to speak with her and ask her about questions about diversity, equity, inclusion, and what that means for the African-American community for our first African-American Black History program at the Climate Reality Bay Area. We have also had racism training, the Indigenous Peoples Workshop. We have had the San Francisco Bay shoreline contamination. We also had a great speaker by Mr. Jim Warren, who is a Aglala Lakota Sioux Nation Indian, who spoke on how the seventh generation, and the seventh generation are our youth, and he believes in the philosophy and the prophecy of a elk who was a spiritual advisor and medicine man, in saying that our new young seventh generations are the youth today that will be taking us forward. For more information on our climate and environmental justice activities, as well as the Climate Reality Project headquarters, I have provided the link for you there. We could put that in the chat for you to learn more about what we're doing with environmental justice and climate change. All right, Harriet. Tonight, I am talking to you about our Climate Reality Leadership Corps. The global training will be taking place on October 16th through the 24th. We really encourage you to participate. You guys are all registrants. That's how you are with us tonight. I just want to give you a brief synopsis of what's going to happen and what you're in store for. It will be a fun, interactive training by your personal former United States Vice President Al Gore. These are live sessions with him. If we were in physical and we were able to gather together, he would be conducting those trainings with you live and in person. And so it is very important on the virtual program that you are a part of the mandatory sessions that will take place, because he is actually training you live. So this is how it's going to go. Just briefly, there's going to be 4 scheduled interactive broadcasts. That's with former United States Vice President Al Gore. You will also have on-demand environmental issue and advocacy sessions. And these sessions will be focused around the areas of climate change and how it impacts the global climate justice, grassroots organizing, and sessions that will help you gain and practice your advocacy and activism skills. There will also be online skill building sessions, and these sessions are intended to teach those advocacy skills and engage in meaningful climate action. There will also be, which I really highly encourage, there is a networking opportunities that you'll be able to network with your fellow trainees, not only in the Bay Area, but around the world, because the Climate Reality Project is an international and national organization. So we have received so many compliments on that. I do encourage you to please, when the platform goes live, to register and be a part of that networking session, because they go fast. But Here also you will find that in California, starting on October the 16th, it will start at 6 p.m. And these are the hours that they have, but you will have a mentor that you will be assigned to if you have not already heard from your mentor. They will be guiding you and they will be teaching you and answering all of your questions. So again, welcome. Please enjoy the training. You will have a spectacular time. And again, make sure you get into the networking sessions. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Taryn. And again, we're also excited for you attending leadership training. The chapter will support you in every way as a trained leader, is giving presentations or taking your advocacy in other ways. So we're really here to help provide that local opportunity for you to extend your future as a climate reality leader. So thank you so much. Yes.
Yeah, Joy added something to the chat, which I think is important.
Okay.
That was 6 p.m. East Coast time. It's 3 p.m. here. So
Yes.
Saturday, Sunday, and the following Saturday, Sunday, 3 to 5 p.m. So put it on your calendars.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. It wasn't military time. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you for clarifying. And thank you, Gary, for bringing that to our attention. Excellent. So, next we're going to go into just our kind of little lightning round where each of our team leaders is going to talk a little bit about what their particular group is involved in. I'll just give you an overview here of our different teams and working groups. We have action teams that are focused on alliances with other climate organizations and whatnot, business engagement team, climate justice team, as well as policy action team. And we have county squads, as I mentioned earlier, that are active in local areas around the Bay Area. We have our climate moment team, which is actually a team dedicated to federal advocacy at this rare opportunity we have now at the federal level to really move the needle. And we also have a youth climate action team. We also have community engagement teams. We have a presentation team, which is headed up by Gary, who just spoke, and his co-chair, Jim. And they support all presentation work. We have membership engagement and communications and events that are all very, very central to everything we do as a chapter and impacting climate progress in the Bay Area. I've included a link here at the bottom. Our website's pretty easy, climaterealitybayarea.org, and you can find out more about each of these teams at the Get-Involved page. So now we'll move on. There's a good cross-section of our wonderful leadership team. And I will stop screen sharing so that we can actually see everyone's wonderful faces. And we will start our representative from the policy action team has to leave us by 5:30. So we're going to go ahead and start with Leslie Alton, who is here representing the policy action team this evening.
Thanks, Harriet. And I really apologize that I can't stay too much later because these are wonderful evenings and it's wonderful to meet everyone. And thank you all who have shown up, who are new and will be taking the training. It is, as Taryn said, it's a remarkable process and you start getting engaged in ways that may surprise you. And one of those is on policy. And there's so many ways that we intersect and interact. And each of us has our own interests and strengths and things that we're good at and things that we kind of go, oh, I don't want to do that. But the policy piece is really essential. It is moving our electeds to make some of the bigger legislative and resolution and ordinance changes at the local level. And that's huge. I mean, what we do nationally, what we do at the state level is extraordinarily important. But let me tell you, what happens at the grassroots level, what we can do locally with the relationships that we create and have in our own communities makes a huge difference. So there's that sort of grass tops down, but also the grassroots up. And the policy piece, it's I don't know, I'm a policy wonk. I think it's really fun, but it's not everyone's cup of tea. But I have to tell you, we have an amazing group of people. We have squads all the way around the Bay Area, mostly focused on building decarbonization, which is like getting fossil fuels, gas out of our buildings, building decarb. And that's huge. That's a health issue. It's an equity issue. But it's also kind of hard for a lot of people to get their heads around, especially our electeds. Sometimes they don't have staff support because their staffs are undermanned, under-resourced. And so what we do in the policy group is to help all of our squads around the Bay Area build their own skills and come up with what it is that they want to focus on in their own community, in their own squad. So it's a sort of a self-taught training, but we have a lot of mentors that can come in and advise and support. So besides building decarbonization, there's EVs, electrification of our vehicles and our transportation, also really essential. So if you look at where our emissions are coming from, transportation is about 40-something%, and our buildings, our houses, our commercial spaces are about 20 to 25%, depending on where you are. So those are the two really big hooks to reducing our greenhouse gas emissions, and moving policy at the local level is a really big piece. It's education, but it's also moving the dial with respect to just changing local ordinances. So I welcome all of you, whatever it is you decide to do, wherever your heart, your skills, and your imagination take you. Welcome. I think you're going to find that this is an amazing organization, and we look forward to having your participation.
Great. Thank you so much, Leslie. We'll next move to our Alliances Chair, Kevin Morrison.
All right, Leslie, you're always a hard act to follow. Thank you for setting the bar high. Alliances are exactly what it sounds like. It's networking among all of our climate organization friends, as well as the community friends that we have in education, in the corporate world, although with the knowledge that the corporate world is mostly handled by our business team. The idea, though, is if you are interested in networking, if you are the kind of person who likes to meet people, find ways to get things done, whether it's us working with someone else or someone working with us, that's what Alliances does. We have a spreadsheet with 280 some odd organizations, which we are in the process of filling out and reaching out to. If you go to that spreadsheet and see your other organization isn't there, then I invite you to go ahead and fill that in and become part of the Alliances team. I'll throw out too that the Alliances team does need help. Oh, that's my minute. Although I am excited about it and continue to be, stop that timer. God bless America. At the end of the year, I'll be stepping down from Alliances and looking to pass the baton on to someone who will have an equal amount of fun with it.
Excellent. Thank you, Kevin. And we really thank Kevin. He's taken Alliances on its inaugural year for the chapter. It was a brand new function for us. And so it's a great opportunity if you're interested to kind of get in and help take it to the next level. Kevin's given us a fabulous start there. I will next report for the business engagement team. Our two co-chairs, amazing co-chairs, Mary Dubé and Berta Alexander, were unable to join us this evening, but they submitted this little thing for me to share with you. Companies, particularly large enterprises, are key to solving the climate crisis. Our working group is focused on two areas. First, helping companies build sustainability employee engagement groups. And they've made some amazing progress in that category lately. It's just really exciting. And I look forward to sharing a little bit about that with anybody that joins me in the business engagement room. The second area is encouraging employees to advocate for their organization to use its lobbying power for climate policy. We have a working group comprised of employees from Bay Area businesses, including HP, Deloitte, Genentech, SAP, Sony PlayStation, and others. The next one will be on October 20th at 6 p.m. Team meetings. Team meetings are the third Wednesday of every month. The next one will be October 20th at 6 p.m. Registration for this recurring meeting is on the chapter website on the events page. If you'd like to connect in advance of the meeting, please let either myself or Taryn know, and we can certainly connect you with Mary and Verda. Thank you for that. And with that, I will turn it over next to Alma. Has Alma joined us yet for climate justice?
I'm here.
Excellent.
Okay, hello everybody. I'm Alma Sungi Beck, Pek Sungi. 안녕하세요. I am the Climate Justice Co-Chair, and the way I think about climate justice is that the climate crisis is global. The world is majority Black, Indigenous, and other people of color. California is also majority Black, Indigenous, and other people of color. So pretty much anything related to the climate crisis is about climate justice, racial justice, and social justice. So what do we do in climate justice? We serve as a resource for the chapter and for chapter members to really put our minds around what it really means to put social justice in the center. Climate crisis is hard enough to look at by itself, and it's also hard to look at racism, classism, social injustice, sexism, misogyny, all of that. So we are a fun group of people that like to be connected. We want people to connect themselves to their people and their heritage. We have 3 priorities in 2021. One of them is Indigenous Voices. We have a monthly reading group that we're continuing through the end of December, where we read articles and books and watch films about Indigenous justice as it relates to the climate crisis, to build our resource and understanding of how to engage with Indigenous groups in the Bay Area and around the country. We have a Environmental Justice Coalition project with the San Francisco Bay Shoreline CCC, Contamination Cleanup Coalition. It's just a really, really long name. But basically, we were looking for opportunities to engage with local Bay Area environmental justice organizations, trying to figure out, we've heard at the trainings, and you will hear more at the trainings, about how communities of color and other poor communities and other disadvantaged communities are disproportionately impacted by the climate crisis. So we look for ways to engage here on the local level, and there are quite a number of ways, but that's one of our big ones. And the last one is we build our resource and capacity as a chapter to really engage in conversations about diversity, equity, inclusion, and justice. Our monthly meeting is on the first Thursday of the month, which means we're meeting next week on Thursday, 5:30 to 7. We'd love to have you join. It's a good place to meet people. We can talk about what we've been thinking about climate justice, and you can figure out how to connect with what we're doing, or maybe figure out a new project and how to get support from us. So hope you join us and come to our events too.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Alma. Yeah, our climate justice group is doing so much important work and is so central to everything we do as an organization. So we're really thankful for all their hard work. Next, we'll move on to Pam Alio, communications team.
Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to see more members. We actually had a great meeting at the last open house we had, and we've gotten 4 new additional communications team members. So what our team does is we are the voice for our chapter in the form of our website and how we're communicating outbound to our membership, as well as business engagement teams that might hit our website. We also have a newsletter that goes out to now our 1,400 members that we publish. I'm not sure if we'll do it on October 1st. We try and publish it the first Wednesday of the month, and we have a team that helps with that. And then we also have a social media that we launched this year. So I'm actually going to, let's see here. I think Harriet will go over that as well, but I just put in our links. We continue to increase our memberships, and that's a great way for us to communicate outbound. One of the goals that we set out was first to help a process, so to be able to get this in place for future people that want to take over communications. And the next is really, next step we want to do is really look at helping to tell the stories of people most affected. So we working with Alma's team and others to be able to tell their stories and get them out in our blog and in our newsletter and whatnot. And they may not be able to join our group. So that's kind of the piece that we want to focus on in the coming months ahead. So as well, one of the gals that joined our communications team wants to do podcasts. So that's something new. We have to look at that and how that integrates on our website, but we have a great group of people now. So we're up to 8, and everybody will have kind of their area and however you want to jump in. So we look for people if they want to write blogs on interesting topics that affect the Bay Area mostly. But that's kind of our team, and we're small but nimble, but we you can jump in and help, and we highly encourage everybody to. So look forward to meeting anybody interested when we have the breakouts.
Excellent. Yeah, very, very central, very, very central to everything our chapter does, our communications team, and they're doing great work. Events, Carolyn, who is also, thank you, Carolyn, for running our Zoom for us this evening. So she's going to fill us in on the events team.
Well, as Harriet mentioned, we run Zoom for events across the chapter. We're not present at every event. Some of those meetings and things are run by the squads themselves, but we do work on most of the kind of larger group events. There are 3 of us. We are running events. We are editing videos, and we are working to get content up on the website. And we are happy to have people step in who want to run events or edit videos or help us get things up on the website. Or as Pam said, help us create procedures that make it easier for us now and for those who take it over in the future.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Carolyn. Yeah, and you can, anybody that takes a look at our events page of our website will see this is a very busy team. They're doing such great work to give our membership opportunities to engage in multiple ways on multiple topics that really matter. So membership, I'll briefly, our membership engagement chair, Mary Ruth Gross, wonderful person. She was unable to join us this evening. Very briefly, she just heads up this effort to welcome new members. All of you have probably received an email from Mary Ruth welcoming you to the chapter, telling you different ways that you can engage. She's hoping to build a team to help with more one-on-one direct outreach when someone joins the chapter, actually reaching out personally and connecting and engaging with a conversation, which is really a meaningful exchange on both sides of that. So if you're interested in that, join the communications, events, and membership engagement breakout room, and Pam and Carolyn will help answer your questions. And you can certainly let me know in the chat if you're interested too, because I can follow up with you as well. So that's membership engagement. Our Climate Moment Federal Advocacy Campaign. We have Tom Williams with us this evening for that.
Hey guys, so our Climate Moment is the effort of the Climate Reality Project to take advantage of the fact that the numbers are right, hopefully, in both the House and the Senate to start moving climate legislation. We've been incredibly busy over the past 60 days, reaching out to virtually every important committee and every member of Congress on those committees that resides in California. I think altogether there are about at least 6 and sometimes 8 California members of Congress on each important committee involved in the reconciliation bill that's being crafted right now. So that turns into a pretty big effort, and we can use people that that are experienced in lobbying Congress and have a real knack for it, to folks who are just constituents who want to have a chance to occasionally reach out and talk directly to their congressman or their staffers. So there's a lot of room, depending upon how much effort you want to contribute to it. Just being on calls, so we can call you in for meetings with members of Congress, is a helpful thing. And if you want to delve deeper, we have lots of ways for you to do that.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Tom, for being here with us this evening and for introducing that amazing campaign. That group is doing unbelievable work. It's a great team to be involved in. Presentations, Mr. Gary White is here.
Okay. So hello, everyone. Hold on a second. Let's spotlight the video. Okay, here we go. Anyway, hello, everyone. Good to see so many new faces, be able to meet lots of new people. I want to welcome you to the start of your climate reality journey. I think you're going to find this to be very, very interesting, very informative, very compelling. And everyone on this call is absolutely needed in the climate movement. Some of you are probably already involved to a greater or lesser extent. Others will maybe get involved for the first time through climate reality. And as you can hear, there are so many opportunities, so many different groups to participate in. And I really want to encourage everyone to sign up for at least one, if not more, and check them out. sample them. If you would rather try something else, move on. And also, while I'm at it, before I tell you about presentations, I really want to encourage everyone who's going to be on the training call in the middle of the month to really prioritize the training. Attend all of the sessions. Try not to blow any part of it off because it all knits together really, really nicely, especially the independent work where you watch some videos for skill building. They're very helpful as well. And there's been a lot of effort and a lot of work that's gone into them. So really take advantage of it. Anyway, long story short, I am responsible, along with my co-chair, Jim Leach, who couldn't join us tonight, for everything presentations. Now, you guys may or may not know that when Climate Reality started about 14, 15 years ago, after Inconvenient Truth came out, what Gore wanted to do was basically train as many people as he could to be mini Gores, to go back to their community and present on the climate crisis, inform people and motivate people to take action. And in the subsequent 14 years, he's done over 40 of these trainings, most of them live. My training was in 2015 in Toronto with about 500 people. Now that they're online, they're with thousands of people all over the place. But what he's been doing is focusing on really getting the word out. And so prior to the chapters being formed about 4 years ago, we were exclusively in the presentation business. And so we were communicators of the current state of the art on the climate crisis and solutions. And so as a result, that's sort of how I've gotten my grooming in this particular area. And as a result, I am really kind of the person who helps everyone get their presentations together for those people who are interested and willing to give presentations, which I hope everyone is. You'll learn more about this during the training in the middle of the month. But Jim and I coach people in the chapter to get ready to give a presentation. We help people with their slide deck. They may want to add or adapt some of the slides that that Gore and Company uses, which is something that we can do. And we also offer to participate live if you want, or behind the scenes on anyone's first presentation. And we really encourage people to do that. And the last thing I'll say is one initiative that we took a few months ago, we decided to build a custom presentations library, because a lot of us, especially those who've been around for a while, began building their own slides, delving deeper into different areas and adding to Al Gore's material. And so we've captured that from about 10 of us that have given hundreds, if not thousands, of presentations collectively. So you don't have to start from scratch. If you've got a particular interest, let's say in extinction, we've got slides on it. If there's a particular interest in renewable energy, we've got slides on that too. So there's more and more material that you could grab and sort of add. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. I hope to see you all soon. I'm going to be one of the mentors at the training, so I hope some of you guys are in my group. See ya.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Gary. They provide amazing support for our trained climate reality leaders, and we really appreciate their work. So we will finish up with our last team to cover, and that is Youth Climate Action Team, the YCATs. Darren is going to cover for our two co-chairs, Crystal Huang and Alice Sung, who are unable to be here this evening.
Thank you, Harriet. Yes, I am filling in for our chair, Alice, and our co-chair, Crystal, who just started her first semester at the University of Santa Cruz. So I'm standing in just to give you a brief synopsis of what their group is all about. It is young adults, and they are looking for more members. We have 3 co-chairs, of which Crystal just stepped up. They meet every Friday, the second Friday of every month. Between 5 and 6 o'clock p.m. We are looking for more members. Now, some of you who may already be in college or in high school, or you have some high school friends who would like to be a part, we'd love to have you. We're trying to build this team. I mentioned at the beginning about Jim Warren saying that this 7th generation is the youth, along with Greta Thunberg. And we'd like to position you and support you in all of your work, because you are our next generation and you are the strongest advocates in this movement. And we want to make sure that a space and position is here for you. So
Great.
if you're interested in becoming a part of the YCAT team, we will have Alice and Crystal's email address availed to you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Taryn. All right. So we are running just a tad behind, but I'm going to move back over here and we will go to our breakouts. And I think we are actually going to there we are. So we're going to have our open house breakouts first, where you can come and go between rooms. We encourage you to do that. If you've got a number of things that sound of interest to you, please feel free to move between. We will probably need to keep this to 5 minutes, unfortunately, because we don't want to overstay our welcome here this evening with all of you.
Yep.
Wonderful. Okay, well, we're going to have another lightning round now, and really this one's just to connect us with people that live near where we do, and also with our local action squads, with which we have representatives here this evening. So different rooms for San Francisco and Alameda. Then we have the Contra Costa and Solano together. Any Napa residents might actually want to join that. That's breakout number 3. And
No, I'm in Napa.
Yeah. So, well, I think perhaps the Contra Costa Solano might be the better fit for that. But anyway, you use your judgment there with which one you feel more affiliated with. There's also number 4 is Marin, Sonoma, Northern California, north of us. And then the 5th one is San Mateo and everything south. And if you're from somewhere outside of those regions, just hang out in the lobby with Carolyn. Here I am, hopefully. All right, so we'll wrap up very quickly here and keep it within the hour. If anyone wants to stay longer, Taryn and Carolyn and I, and hopefully a few more of the leadership team members will be able to stay for another 10 minutes or so to field any additional questions that you might have. So we'll just quickly wrap up with a few ways to engage with the Climate Reality Bay Area chapter. Tune in to our chapter communications. As Pam mentioned, we have social media and an amazing website, and some email communications that are very worth opening up and tuning into. So we encourage you to do that. Attend and participate in our chapter events. As I mentioned, our events page, you will see there is just an unbelievable array of amazing opportunities to engage. And there are recordings on our YouTube channel. If you go to the very bottom of the events page, you'll see a calendar. You can actually look back and see our events, and you can actually watch those recordings if you see something of interest there. So you can learn about climate and justice issues as well as solutions, develop your skills. These are the types of events that we try to provide. Take action, of course, that's why we're all here, and to socialize. It's hardly worth it if we're not having fun. So we really, that's part of the benefit of joining other people in something. Volunteer, join, or start a chapter working group. That's what we've been talking about this evening. Put your passion and talents to work, connect with others in our common cause. And again, as I mentioned earlier, have some fun. And you guys are already planning on doing the training, so you already have number 4 checked off the list. And thank you again for that. Okay. Here are a few of our upcoming events. On October 13th, I don't believe it's up on the website yet, but it will be soon. We are going to have a speaker talk about gray water systems for your home, a way to conserve water and help with climate crisis. October 16th to 24th, as you all know, leadership training. Congratulations and have a great time. Late October, we will also have an event all about COP26 and the IPCC report and ways we might be able to help make sure that COP26 makes the big moves that it needs to. November 3rd, we will have an event on sustainable food by default. And we might also have some recipe sharing for holidays and with that as well. December 8th, we're going to have a conversation with the Climate Center's Ellie Cohen, a big climate leader for the Bay Area. Excited about that as well. And there will probably be more to come. I also just included the URL for our events page here at the bottom. And Pam already mentioned these are our various handles for our social media pages, as well as our website. So that brings us to the end. I'll stop sharing. Again, thank you all so much. I'm going to let Taryn close us out with our official end. But again, we will still be here for another 10 minutes if there are questions or more ideas to share.
Thank you, Harriet. And we thank you so very much for taking time out of your busy schedule today and coming to learn more about the Climate Reality Bay Area chapter. I always want to thank our leaders who came tonight so that you could become better acquainted with their faces and the work that we do. We thank you. As Harriet said, you are more than welcome to stay over if you have any other questions that we can answer for you. But most importantly, we want to welcome you into the Climate Reality Bay Area chapter, but most importantly, we look forward to working with you as newly trained climate reality leaders once you have finished the training. Enjoy yourself, have a good time. You are wanted, welcome, and needed. It is the climate. We are working together to end this climate crisis, and we can't do it without you. So thank you guys. Have a good evening. And again, if you'd like to stay, please feel free. We will be available to answer any further questions or concerns you may have. Thank you.